Yo, what's going on, guys? It's White Haze coming back at you with another video. What I'm going to be talking about today is another Warhammer video. You know me, I love Warhammer. I've been playing Space Marine 2. I think I have like 40, 50, almost 60 hours on it. It came out 10 days ago. I bought it 12 days ago. I bought it on the 7th. And I know, super hypocritical of me to make a video and say, don't buy 4-day early releases or whatever the early releases if you have to pay for them. But like I said, this game was totally worth it in my opinion. If you like that male power fantasy of just slaying things left and right, you're this ultimate badass that just slays everything, this game is for you. But I'm not here to do a review on Space Marine or anything like that. Already did that. If you didn't know, you can go check that out. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about is somebody in specific who had already made a review of Space Marine. And let me preface this by saying there are points in this video that I do agree with, but there is one main gripe that I have with this video slash creator. Now, I'm sure some of you may have heard of this guy, Synthetic Man. I was scrolling TikTok and I had seen some videos of people saying that his review of the game was, for lack of a better word, racist. Now, we're gonna dive into this deeper. We're gonna watch a review, what he said and everything. But just seeing these videos, the few clips that I've seen of this review, it's not looking the brightest for Synthetic Man. Now, I have never heard of this creator before, and he has never heard of me. But you gotta hop on the bandwagon. Gotta get those views, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's hop right into this video. I'm gonna be starting in the middle of the review. I'm gonna be leaving the link to the full video down below. I'll put his channel name on the video while I'm watching it. But here we go.
And one more thing I gotta briefly mention is the small amount of wokeness in the game, depending on your definition. Basically, the only left-wing propaganda I noticed while playing this game is the comical amount of diversity. The most offensive being the major of the Cadian guardsmen, who is an Indian woman, an ugly one at that. Remember, testosterone converts to estrogen.
First off, he got it all wrong. She is not an Indian woman. She is a Cadian. He said so himself. She is a Cadian. And he says so in this video. He's not the biggest fan of Warhammer. And you can tell. If you are a big fan of Warhammer, you know that there are trillions upon trillions of humans. There are so many hive worlds. There's so much diversity that, of course, there's going to be different looking people. Why is that even a gripe? Why do you even care about that? Who cares? They're Cadians, they're not Terrans. And even if they are from Terra, there's trillions of people on Terra. There's trillions of people on these hive worlds where, yeah, you're gonna have, I guess for lack of a better word, weird looking people that maybe don't look like they belong in that situation. But we are in the 41st millennium. There are trillions upon trillions of humans. I don't know if I'm saying this enough. There are trillions of humans. I mean, it is ridiculous how many human beings there are. But even having that much manpower, they're still getting overtaken by Xenos, heretics, you name it. I just don't think that this is like anywhere near a valid argument. Woke? This isn't left-wing propaganda. I mean, if anything, this is the most right-wing game ever. I mean, they're religious zealots that do anything in the name of the Emperor. They hate aliens. They hate the Xenos, They hate the heretic. Anyone that thinks differently of them, automatically a heretic. They deserve death. Nothing else. I don't get it. You can just do a little bit of research and find out that, that there's diversity in this universe.
Speaking of estrogen. Yeah, that's something, alright. Can we shoot her?
Okay, I have not seen this. This is ridiculous. It's the 41st millennium. You don't think women are going to be in the Astrum Militarum? Why not? Do you think they're just going to be home cooking on Terra or cooking on their hive world? Like, come on, bro. It's the 21st century. Women are allowed in the military. 2, it's a fantasy universe that takes place in the 41st millennium. And you really think humanity being attacked on all fronts, all sides of the galaxy, every hive world, that they're not gonna recruit any man, woman, or child that is available to fight? I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. I mean, even the United States does that now. I mean, not children, but, 18 and up. But 18-year-olds are kids. Those are kids. Those are children. They don't know what they're doing with their life. They think they do. That's not what this is about. It's ridiculous to say, oh, there's the estrogen, you know, oh, I want to shoot her. Like, she is doing her job in Ashram Militarum. She's doing her job with the guardsmen. She is actively protecting her fellow men and women alike. It doesn't matter the race, the gender, the sexual orientation, you know, even if there is one in Warhammer, but, you know, Warhammer isn't a very sexual thing. I mean, maybe the only thing that's sexual about it is Slanesh, you know, lust, but that's a whole different thing. That has nothing to do with this. The fact that the first sight of a woman in a combat scenario triggers you, like, come on, bro. You have some deeper rooted problems. It's okay for a woman to fight in a war. Relax, bro.
Just stomp on her on accident. If you compare her to the woman from the first game, it's like night and day. And while she really doesn't do much during the story other than yell on the comms throughout the first half of the game, it's just incredibly annoying seeing girl boss characters in this day and age, especially in a supposedly grim dark universe. And the diversity isn't just the guardsmen, it's also the space marines. Now, again, I'm not an expert on the lore, but I understand that space marines come from gene seed, which comes from their primarchs, right? Which comes from ultimately the emperor. So why are all these ultramarines different ethnicities? Shouldn't they all be the same race as Gilliman?
You can obviously tell bro does not know anything about the Warhammer lore, and he says it, you know, good for him, but let me educate you a little bit, bro. In order to become a space marine, they're already humans, right? It's a medical augmentation. Yes, they get these gene seeds implanted into them, but they also get some enhancements, some augmentations. You know, like the Primaris Marines, they have essentially steel cables as for ligaments, you know, to be able to lift stuff. You know, this would be a steel cable. They have 2 hearts, they have 2 stomachs, they're resistant to poison. Like, do you really think a human is resistant to all of that without any augmentation? No, of course not. So, in order to make these space marines, you have to take already existing humans and augment them, give them a gene seed, make them space marines or make them primaris. It takes no time at all to do a quick Google search. There's no reason in the 21st century where you should be ignorant and saying essentially off the wall things like this. There's just no reason. You could do a quick Google search and you can get all the answers. I mean, especially in Warhammer, this is such a flushed out universe. There's almost an answer to literally everything. There's almost an answer to everything. I won't say there's an answer to everything because, you know, there's some really big questions in the Warhammer universe, you know, like, for example, the Dark King. That's kind of a new theory that's going on. Not even a theory, but a new thing that's going on. The Dark King. I mentioned this in my last video that it was thought to be, I think, Eldar or someone else, but, you know, as the years went on, they realized the Dark King was definitely the Emperor, and if he were to ever die, he would make that prophecy come to fruition. And so his underlings couldn't have that. They kept him alive, feeding him 1,000 souls a day to prevent that from happening. And now, like, do you just expect all the Space Marines and all of the Astra Militarum to be white? For what reason? I mean, it's not hurting you to have a black character, to have an Indian character, to have a brown character in a strong role. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with having a woman in a strong role. This man does not know about the Sisters of War. They're all women that come and either protect humans, but they are mostly to recover fallen gene seeds from Space Marines, because yes, they're not invincible badasses. They do die, and they're so valuable to the Militarum, to the Imperium of Man, that they need those gene seeds. They need these technologies because a lot of it is just gone. So we're not gonna get into the super deep lore yet. The Imperium of Man is technologically advanced. They can recreate some things, but a lot of stuff has been lost with wars, time, the Administratum not using AI and just using paper to push trillions and trillions of requests through for humans and Space Marines alike. It just doesn't make any sense why there wouldn't be any diversity in this universe. I don't get it. Is it really hurting you? Is it really causing you that much mental damage to where this is a gripe in your video game review? Is this seriously damaging the game that much?
Again, I'm not an expert on this, but I feel like portrayals I've seen of Space Marines, they're generally all white. except for the salamanders, who are like charcoal black or something. One of Titus's squad mates is black-ish, and the other one is like a hoppa or something. It's hard to tell because they all have these weird Giga Chad features. Basically, every Space Marine looks like the Chad meme, so there is one Space Marine that is just straight up undeniably African, which is bizarre. He's corrupted. You can see it on his skin. Either way,
I have no words. I don't know. He's corrupted. You can see it on his skin. I know bro doesn't know the lore on Warhammer. Space Marines have this amazing healing ability where their wounds heal up almost instantaneously so they don't bleed out. Like here on this. Right here on Chiron. You can see these scars on his face. Space Marines are not pretty. They are not pretty at all because of this regenerative ability. Since they heal almost instantaneously, they have scars from everything, on their face. They can lose limbs and still live because they heal instantaneously. It's almost instantaneous. They heal faster so they can keep fighting, right? They're fearless. When they get their arms cut off or shot off or whatever it may be, they're not like, oh. They adapt. Oh, I don't have my left arm. Time to use my right arm and time to use my legs, my mouth, whatever. It doesn't matter. They have no fear. They adapt. They have these healing abilities that help them to be fearless, right? To continue fighting without much hindrance. But to say that he looks corrupted and you can see it on his skin, and to say it's weird because he's obviously African, bro, come on now. Come on. Just say you're racist, bro. At this point, it would almost be better just to say, hey, I'm racist. I hate these fucking guys. I wish they were all white. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just the blatant racism doesn't make any sense. Bro, it's a video game. Yeah, there's diversity. It's not even wokeness, bro. They're not even shoving any leftist wokeism down your throat. It's go kill some bugs, do it in the name of the Emperor, go kill some heretics in the name of the Emperor. That's it. It's a male power fantasy to go and kill shit. That's it.
You get the point. This has definitely got to be a retcon for diversity purposes. And yeah, I gotta say, it definitely distracted me. It wasn't woke enough for me to say like, oh, this is blatant propaganda, but it's clear to see that Games Workshop is going down a slippery slope. There's a female custodes, aka the Super Space Marines that guard the Emperor. And if they're willing to make a female Super Space Marine, you better fucking believe they're gonna have a female regular Space Marine in the next couple years. So certainly something to look out for in the future.
To look out for? What is it gonna do? It's not gonna hurt you to have a female Space Marine. These female custodians aren't hurting you. In fact, this fantasy universe empowers a lot of, for lack of a better word, minorities, right? Me seeing these brown Space Marines makes me think I could do that. Obviously, I can't fight Xenos that are 4 times bigger than me and way more than me. Obviously, I know that. But it's nice to see my skin color represented in a video game where it's not just a white utopia. I don't know what to call it. Just a white sea. I don't get it. What is so bad about having diversity? It's not even wokeness, bro. It doesn't make any sense. You're mad over people being diverse. I think bro has some problems of his own. Maybe it was his upbringing. It doesn't matter. There's no excuse for this. Genuinely. They're not hurting you. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not shoving any leftist wokeism down your fucking throat. You kill shit. Just kill shit. Is it really bothering you that bad to have a black character? To have an Asian character that looks like a Giga Chad? It's the 41st millennium. If you're really trying to dig deep into the lore, maybe biology, let's think about it. Let's say humanity does live on until the 41st millennium, right? That's a really long time. That's a long time for biodiversity, right? If you think about here on Earth, yes, we have borders, we have sections where people are, right? You can find Asians in Asia. You can find white people in Europe. You know what I'm saying? You can find black people in Africa. That's how it works now. But think about 40,000 years in the future when there's trillions of people on one planet, and it's not just one planet that you have control, because it is the Imperium of Man, and they have many planets that they control. There's Mars, there's Terra, there's other hive worlds that produce resources for the Imperium. And if you go down the route of biology, yeah, of course there's gonna be diverse people that maybe look like they shouldn't be there. But it's the 41st millennium. People have breeded like bunnies, like flies. I mean, you need that workforce to produce results and resources. Why would it just be white people? Think about how that would work. From now until the 41st millennium, we would have to get rid of every minority, right? We would have to just, essentially, we'd have to be Hitler. We would have to keep just the Aryan race and exterminate everybody else for no diversity, for just white people, for just white space marines and guardsmen. Now, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous, right? To just have white people in the future. That's freaking stupid. Come on, use your brain. I know you went to school. I didn't even graduate high school. And come on, bro. Just put a little forward thinking into this. It's not that hard. Anyway, that's probably about that's it. That's all I wanted to grab. That's all I wanted to just rant about. You know what I'm saying? What just happened? Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. The whole review is gonna be in the video description. The rest of the review is pretty on point. You know, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 review, maybe 7.5. Not a bad review. A couple of things that I disagree with. One of the things he talks about is how the game is not meant for long range. You know, because there are snipers in the game, and you know, I agree and both disagree with that. There are sections in the map where, you know, it's obviously meant for a sniper. It's tucked away, it's up in elevation than everyone else, and of course there's gonna be sniper space marines. Duh, they have these rocket propelled bullets and giant guns. Of course there's gonna be a sniper that's gonna shoot you from, in the lore, miles and miles away. Of course, but they gotta scale that down for the game. So it's gonna be a little bit further away, and the gun is still going to be just as powerful, so you feel like a badass. So you feel that male power fantasy. That's what this game is. Has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with leftism, has nothing to do with being woke. It's a game. It's a male power fantasy game. If anything, you should be griping about the fact that it's meant for males, but it's not. Anybody can play this game. Anybody can enjoy this game. Any race can enjoy this game. Any gender, it doesn't matter. It's a f***ing video game. Quit getting offended and triggered over people being diverse in a video game. The world is diverse. Wake up, bro. Anyway, sorry. That's about it. Bye.